What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam, and we haven't done one of these in a while because last year in 2024 Marvel only put out one movie. DC, I don't think, put out any movies, and there was a couple of crappy Sony movies, so like there wasn't a whole lot of theories that we could talk about. But today we're talking theory time, and particularly two topics that I need to talk about. One, at the end of Captain America Brave New World, if you haven't seen, I'm not going to try and spoil that movie for you. Go check it out, watch my breakdown review, and then come watch this theory time video, because Sam Wilson has to rebuild the Avengers. Now, we don't hear him say anyone he has in particular in mind. We don't know, who is going to be a part of this Avengers lineup, so that is theory time number one, speculating who is going to be the Avengers lineup heading into Avengers Doomsday to fight Dr. Doom, who is now confirmed Robert Downey Jr. Now, there's also theory number two. There's Samuel Stearns in the post-credits scene of Captain America Brave New World, and the others spoken about. Who could those be? And also, leading towards Secret Wars, what my thoughts are heading into it. So let's jump right into the theory, who will be this Avengers lineup heading into Avengers Doomsday. So my thoughts going into Avengers Doomsday is that it's not necessarily going to be Avengers Endgame, right? Like Avengers Endgame, I think, is going to be closer to Avengers Secret Wars, where it feels like everybody's there and everybody came back. But Avengers Doomsday, I think they need to solidify how the hell Tony Stark's face is Dr. Doom, right? And if they just don't talk about that at all, there's going to be a whole fan base that's like, why is Iron Man Dr. Doom, right? And I'm sure there'll be some people that won't care and won't even notice, but we also have the Fantastic Four movie coming up in July. So will that movie give us more of an idea of what Avengers Doomsday will be? We know, I think Robert Downey Jr. is a phenomenal actor, so I think he'll have no problem being Dr. Doom. But Avengers Doomsday comes out in May of 2026, so we're like closing in on a year out from another Avengers film. And we haven't had like an Avengers 1 or Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Age of Ultron for this phase, right? Like, we've only really had solo films. And some of those have been great, some of those haven't been received very well. Even this Captain America Brave New World is like 50-50 amongst some fans that you would expect to be loving it. Like, I loved it personally, but like, that's my opinion. Some other people might not like it, and that's just what it is. You can't make a movie and expect everyone to like it, but you try and make it so that most of the people like it. Sometimes you end up in the middle. Sometimes you end up having a banger like Spider-Man No Way Home or Endgame, where like most people don't have problems with it, and they're just like, that's the greatest film ever, rah. And then there's other people that are like just nitpicky about stuff for no reason. And then there's people like me that like, I'm nitpicking because I love this stuff and I like to, talk about it and see what they could have done differently and see where they could go in the future, like a theory time video like this. And with the Fantastic Four coming up, I have a feeling that this Avengers Doomsday will be an Avengers lineup that Sam Wilson's Captain America puts together. Now, whether that's, if he's Cap, right, maybe he goes and grabs a Hulk. Maybe we go and grab Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, we bring him back, so we have a couple OG members with a new Cap, and then you get a new Black Widow with Florence Pugh. And then maybe you don't have Thor, but maybe you have Shang-Chi, and that's like, your lightning power, but it's the ring's power. And then maybe you have Captain Marvel, and that's like you're flying around shooting blasts like your Iron Man power, right? Like, you gotta have some type of lineup. And then, you can also have, like Sam Wilson was for Cap back in Age of Ultron and before, the Falcon, right? Like, you could also have Joaquin Torres in there. You could have Bucky in there. We don't really know where the events of Thunderbolts is going. So we have another a movie coming out in May that we can speculate about and where that's going to be going. And we know from Captain America Brave New World that Bucky is going to be a congressman, Bucky Barnes, in the Thunderbolts. Like, why is he a congressman? Like, why? Like, wasn't this guy the Winter Soldier murderer just a little bit ago and now he's your congressman? I mean, America's alright. I mean, crazy shit's happen. They just did show a Red Hulk destroy the White House, so it's like, Okay. America's a mess right now. But also, coming up real close in March here, we have Daredevil right around the corner. Daredevil Born Again is going to be awesome, and they've already started filming season 2 before season 1 even comes out, which is just like such a good note for this TV show, because by the end of the 8 weeks or 7 weeks, however long it is for this show, we're going to be itching for more. And then it looks like maybe this season 2 of the show will come out probably same time next year, maybe a year out, in March of 2026, heading into Avengers Doomsday. So maybe it will tie, maybe it won't, maybe they'll leave him as a street level guy and not an Avengers level guy, but also then maybe he might come into Secret Wars, right, and leave Doomsday, the Avengers lineup that Anthony Mackie made, and then bring in the Fantastic Four, tie in Doctor Doom, and then that's your Avengers movie. The Avengers, Fantastic Four become Avengers, they fight Doctor Doom, that leads to Secret Wars, right? Like, that makes some sense in my head. What I want, right, because many people hated this, and it is a bad show. In my mind now, I think it's a terrible show, and it's just not rewatchable, and it is funny and dumb, and I do love it for those reasons, and I really love Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, and I love that She-Hulk fucked Daredevil. Like, and I love that Charlie Cox's Daredevil came back for this role, and he had the yellow suit, and I was like, just great that they brought him together, made him fuck. Like, I don't think she'll be in Daredevil Born Again, but I still want to see her back, and I want to see Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, whether it's a lawyer or She-Hulk green form fighting people. You know, I want to see her back. I really do. Just as much maybe as I want to see Florence Pugh and Shang-Chi and all these other people that we got introduced. Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight, right? Like, there's plenty of people that I want to see again. Man-Thing, the Marvels, right? Like, I want to see Miss Marvel again with Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and then maybe Cassie Lang, and maybe a Young Avengers lineup forming, maybe with an Isaiah Bradley Young Cap, you know, an Iron Patriot or whatever. There's still Rhodey out there somehow, although I think they're trying to just straight up erase Secret Invasion, because Secret Invasion, they showed us a president, right? And this is spoilers for Secret Invasion, but that was like 2 years ago, so you're late. And it's a bad show, and you're not going to watch it anyway. So, you know, Secret Invasion ends with the president that it isn't referred to or talked about where he is or what happened to him after Secret Invasion, but he declared war on all aliens and all Skrulls on the planet Earth. And then they just go, okay, Secret Invasion, everybody hates it, and then they were just like, oh, let's just forget about that. Oh, Red Hulk's your president. It's like, what about that guy? And we're not going to talk about him at all? Okay, you know, like, we're just moving on, folks. We're not talking about Secret Invasion. And I don't blame them, because they're looking forward to Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I mean, Secret Wars, I have to believe that there's going to be our Green Hulk back, Wolverine, and Spider-Man all on screen together. But maybe we'll also get Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Tobey Spider-Man. Like, I think many people from like my childhood, if we saw Tobey Maguire Spider-Man talking to Hugh Jackman Wolverine, that would blow all of our minds to pieces. And, you know, I really want a Spider-Man 4 and to see what happened with Tom Holland. And even though the Guardians aren't kind of the same without James Gunn, I do really want to see Star-Lord back, and Chris Pratt I always really liked. The rest of the lineup I can kind of do without. Maybe Groot and Rocket need to be there, but like if Drax isn't there and Gamora's not there, I won't be too mad, because I know the actors don't really want to do that again, especially not with James Gunn. But James Gunn's doing Superman over at DC, so I'm excited for that to come out in July too. July is a huge month for movies. We got Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park, and Superman. And which of those three will be the biggest? I don't know. I think those three movies being in theaters at the same time will hurt them each box office wise. Like, say each of the movies do 500 million. That's crazy. But each of those movies could do $1 billion if there were the only thing in the theaters at that time. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, my thoughts around that. But then, you know, now to talk about this post-credit scene in Captain America Brave New World, Samuel Stearns, back from Incredible Hulk from 2008 with Edward Norton, right? Like, we haven't even really acknowledged that Incredible Hulk because we recasted Mark Ruffalo as Hulk in the Avengers 1, right? And they, like, That was years ago. We're talking over, what, 15 years ago at this point? Like, would be 2010? Yeah, so we're talking 17 years ago? Probably 18 years ago when he filmed this movie? Like, and he's back? And I love Tim Blake Nelson. And it does feel like maybe they didn't have quite the story they were going for, but I still think it's a great movie. I still don't know how it's going to hold up on rewatch, but I am still excited to see it again. But this beautiful Tim Blake Nelson young boy here in 2008 now looks like this ugly, green, lumpy-headed monster of the leader in Captain America Brave New World. And in the post-credit scene, we see him at the raft, locked in the raft, and he tells Sam that there are others coming and your world is doomed and, you know, that type of thing. And pretty much saying that, like, hey, even though this was a grounded political thriller, this guy still can connect us with his big brain power and the probabilities that another universe is coming and he won't be able to stop the others. Now, who are those others? Another universe of Avengers, maybe the Fantastic Four. They come here to fight us, and then we make friends. I don't know, but I do love that they just tied it in real quick. But more fascinating to me than what he said in the raft is that who is at the raft, right? So say we put, Anthony Mackie puts his Avengers lineup together. You got Mark Ruffalo back as Hulk, even maybe Thor. You know, you got your team. And then all of a sudden, this Thunderbolts lineup maybe splits up by the end of that movie. And you got Bucky over with Team Sam. And then you got, you know, maybe Red Guardian goes back to the bad side. Maybe Sentry is definitely on the bad side. Maybe John Walker goes to the bad side. Maybe Ghost, maybe Taskmaster all go to the bad side, and we get like a dark Avengers lineup or like a, you know, a bad Avengers lineup, and it's the leader at the helm with Baron Zemo also at the raft. You need muscle. Oh wait, Harrison Ford's Red Hulk is at the raft. So you got 3 members of your team just at the raft, right? So say John Walker, say, you know, some big brain outside of the raft shows up at the raft looking for team members and can get 3 super powerful team members from the raft in one little pickup, right? Like one little stop, beep the horn outside the school. Hey kids, hop in, you know, like, and just you get Red Hulk, Zemo, and the leader. I mean, leader and Zemo, I would love to talk to each other alone because of the brain power between the two of them and just the psycho chaos between the two of them. Like, ecstatic I am to see that. And honestly, I was trying. I've been. This is all just off the top of the head. There's no script here. I'm sure you can tell. But comment below your thoughts. Who do you think Sam Wilson's Avengers lineup will be? Do you think that lineup will meet the Fantastic Four and they'll go against Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday? Like, do you think my ideas are sounding kind of correct? I think we'll also maybe get, even if I think in like Secret Wars or Doomsday, if there is like a Doomsday lineup of Avengers fighting Dr. Doom, I still think we might get like a young Avengers lineup of Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, behind the scenes, kind of like doing a smaller task. And like if we could cut from the main battle, you know, like big boom, explosions, fighting going on, and then all of a sudden you cut over to them like, you know, cutting the red wire or something, sneaking in the back door, you know, like that type of thing, as they have a mission while the fight's going on, right? Like, and then you can tell this bigger story while this thing's going on, instead of us just sitting there like fight, okay, fight's over, now we move on, right? Like, movies are great like that because you can intercut from the battle to something else, show the battle again, show something else, show the battle again, show something else, and then like further progress everyone's story whilst one thing's going on. You can have multiple things going on. And if you don't think they could do that, fucking watch any Christopher Nolan film. Whether it's Inception, Tenet, I mean, Memento, I mean, that guy's crazy. I haven't checked out The Prestige. I heard that one's crazy as well, but comment below your theories on Avengers Doomsday. Did you like Captain America Brave New World? What are your thoughts about Avengers Secret Wars, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts? Comment all your Marvel theories down below. I would love to talk to you and chat about Marvel and future events and where we're heading. If you want to send me messages on my other social medias, links for those down in the description below. Follow me on Letterboxd if you want to check out my movie reviews. Thank you guys so much for coming on by. Stay tuned for Monday morning Comically Boston weekly nerdy news podcasts that always come out every Monday. Thank you guys so much for coming on by. If you would like to support me and you've made it this far and would like to support the channel, the best way to do that is liking this video, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already. All those things go a long way. Hit that bell so you get the notifications and you know exactly when future videos drop. My name is Big Cam. Once again, I really appreciate every single one of you that clicked on this video, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!